Hello and welcome to the Cameron Sadeghi Show on National Sports On Air. I am your host, Cameron Sadeghi here. All NFL today, Week 4. Interesting turns and crazy victories, big-time victories, blowouts, and some very tightly contested ball games that came to last-second plays. And we have a guest as well on the show, Nick Rice. He will be on the program to discuss the 49ers and Jets and much more here on the program at 5 o'clock p.m. Pacific time here on this show, and then we'll dive into more topics with him as well in regards to the NFL. Right now, we're going to give you the scores, but first I just want to inform you that it's 21-21 overtime, Miami and Arizona. The Dolphins walking into Glendale, Arizona with the record of 1-2, and Arizona has a chance to win the game right now with a 48-yard field goal attempt because Arizona first 3 and out, and then Miami got the football back through an interception. Now Arizona's marched all the way down for a possibility to win the football game in Arizona. Also, we have two other games going on, Washington and Tampa Bay. Washington, they're up by 2 points with 3:50 to go with Robert Griffin III. The Redskins, there's a spot going on, and they're trying to get a call. The refs are going to get the chain gang for that one. But we have an overtime there. We have a Redskins-Buccaneers game down to the wire. And we have a game, one of the games that most of the audience in general, they're watching on Fox. The Packers and the Saints, they're in a 28-27 battle there. But I just saw Jay Feely knocks down the 48-yard field goal to win the game against the Dolphins 24-21 in overtime to advance the Arizona Cardinals to a 4-0 undefeated record in Glendale. So not many people believe that they were supposed to come out on top, but they do. Another game we have, Green Bay and New Orleans. We'll give you the results at the end of that one, or when we get really close. There's still 2:58 to go, as the Saints will try to kick a 43-yard field goal by Garrett Hartley. Hartley gets that one to go. Alright, so let's get to the scores of the week. For the early morning session, West Coast time, the first game, Atlanta and Carolina, 30-28. Atlanta gets the victory on a classic Matt Bryant field goal at the end to win it. New England stomping all over the Buffalo Bills. 45 second half points for the New England Patriots. 52-28 victory against the Bills. It was very close at halftime. New England was actually trailing at halftime, but the combination of the running game of Bolden and Ridley, they both had 100-plus yards on the ground, and Tom Brady's 3 touchdowns lift the Patriots to victory. Also, in Motown, Minnesota, their special teams sparks a victory in Michigan, 20-13. Detroit loses, Minnesota wins. Houston, they were in a rout. Jay Locker out. He sat for the rest of the game, left shoulder injury. More news to that later on in the program. 38-14, Houston very predictable. They take care of business at home. San Diego, they go into Arrowhead Field with Jackie Battle returning at the running back position. He had a great day along with Phillip Rivers and company. 37-20. San Diego Superchargers, they get the victory there. 37-20. San Francisco, they win in not just a rout, but in a shutout. 34 to a goose egg. 34-0. Will the Tebow talks come tomorrow morning in the tabloids? I'm predicting yes. Niners come through. Sanchez had 3 turnovers. Awful day for the Jets at home. San Francisco, Colin Kaepernick even scores a touchdown. It was that type of day for San Francisco. Also, another game. This one in St. Louis. The St. Louis Rams beat the Seattle Seahawks, who won on a Hail Mary. Some called it a Fail Mary. 19-13 Rams. The game that we just talked about very shortly, Arizona beats Miami 24-21 in overtime to stay undefeated at home and throughout this entire season. They are the division leader in the NFC West over the San Francisco 49ers. Also, let's go to the AFC West. This time, a matchup between Oaktown and the Denver Broncos. 37-6. The Manning-led Broncos win that one. Let me just tell you a quick telling stat about that one. If this doesn't say anything about this game, then I don't know what will, because the Denver Broncos did not even punt the football once today. Once. Not once. In this entire game. That's just how efficient the Broncos offense was today, this week. Moving on to Jacksonville and Cincinnati. Bengals win by 17, 27-10. Over there, Blaine Gabbert, not a great day in Jacksonville. Green Bay and New Orleans, they're still in a matchup there, 28-27 in Lambeau. The Packers are up by 1. Also, another game, Washington and Tampa Bay, as Josh Freeman is trying to get downfield for a score over there. Rodgers trying to run out the clock in Green Bay. Toss out to Benson that goes for about 3, maybe 4.5. So, we have those games there. Here today, I want to get my point really quickly between the 49ers and the New York Jets. Jets played atrocious. Sanchez couldn't get anything done offensively without Stephen Hill and Dustin Keller, both inactive for today's ball game, and it showed. San Francisco lockdown mode, shutdown mode, got the rush there, forced some fumbles, and they really put themselves in good field position, capitalized on the Jets' opportunities, on the Jets' missed opportunities and the Jets' fumbles, and got to the red zone and easily scored in the red zone for the San Francisco 49ers. So, San Francisco gets the easy win there. Some thought it was going to be the highlight game of the week, but it was actually the disappointing game of the week. At the Meadowlands in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Also, one game that caught my eye. New England and Buffalo. The New England Patriots struggling throughout. They come in there losing against Baltimore in a controversial field goal. They go into Buffalo in the cool temperatures in Buffalo and dominate in the second half. They were trailing 14-7, but with the running game of the New England Patriots and the turnovers created by this Patriots defense, they get the victory, and Tom Brady's 3 touchdown tosses were huge. The Patriots did a really good job in the running game, as I mentioned before. without Logan Minkins, number 70, one of the better offensive linemen, and over there they really, really did a superb job there. I have to say this with New England. Very impressed. First half was atrocious because they seemingly were trying to throw a little bit too much, and their pass protection was kind of awful in my mind, and I thought they really couldn't get anything done in the passing game. So going to the running game, grinding it out, using your blocking schemes. This offensive line, a young offensive line that really needs some veteranship, and they will soon with Logan Minkins out. We're not really sure when he's going to return, but I mean, you look at this, and their running game really helped out with big plays downfield for Tom Brady, especially in the second half. That running game made play action way easier, and I feel like this is a more balanced New England Patriots team. We're more accustomed to seeing more of a passing team with absolutely no running game, but now we're seeing a team with balance, a solid defense, and a consistent Tom Brady. This offensive line will come back into shape in my mind. It's just going to take some time for this young group. But over the course of time, I think they will be successful, and I think this will be a team and a force to be reckoned with in February, which I think they will be in the Super Bowl. Let's move on to another game that caught my eye. Minnesota and Detroit. Percy Harvin on the opening kickoff houses that kick. He goes all the way to the end zone, 106 yards, 7-0 opening for Minnesota. They actually had 2 kick returns, 1 punt return and 1 kick return for a touchdown. So their special teams and a good and a solid performance for Christian Ponder and a lackluster offense for the Detroit Lions causes the results for this one 20-13. One other game I want to mention real quick in the morning session, in the earlier section, and actually 2, San Diego and Kansas City. Kansas City, a team that really got an impressive win in New Orleans at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome, but 23-20 victory last week. They come in here and absolutely stink it up, and San Diego capitalizing on the opportunities and really punching them in the mouth throughout that entire 60 minutes. It was ugly to watch if you're a Kansas City fan, but you were absolutely enjoy if you are repping your San Diego Chargers gear. Now, San Diego Rivers really did a good job. They just basically capitalized on the opportunities. They really didn't. They only turned it over once. Rivers turned it over once. They really kept this a controlled game. They controlled the tempo, and they get the victory there at Arrowhead. The last game that caught my eye in the early morning session, St. Louis and the Seattle Seahawks. The Seahawks getting that emotional win at home at CenturyLink Field. They thought they had a ton of confidence. They come in there, turn it over a lot. St. Louis, they had a gadget play that really helped them and really changed the momentum of the game with that fake field goal pass that no one really expected. Jeff Fisher there with that really surprising and gutty call there that really turned out to be huge for them later on. Look, these are 2 developmental franchises that are trying to find their identity, and St. Louis really capitalized. Seattle really gave the game away, and credit to Rams getting the win there at home. Also, by the way, there is a game right now currently going on between, well, it's final. The Packers beat the Saints. The Saints still haven't won one game yet currently right now. We have a game right now between Tampa Bay and the Washington Redskins. 22-21 in Tampa Bay, 1:42 left. Robert Griffin III will be getting the football back after the return, and the and the Redskins will have one more opportunity. They have one timeout left. Bucks have 0 timeouts left.